Hello, how's it going everybody? Today's gonna be a little speed build video for my island entrance. In case you are new here or if you forgot, this is Snoozle. The theme is kind of gonna be a pastel kidcore forest, I guess? This video took longer than I expected to put up. Voiceover's brand new, but the actual video itself is kinda old, like a few months old. I wanted to build really badly a couple months back, but I was not doing too great mentally. There was a lot of other stuff going on that really just kind of tanked my mood consistently. I wanted to play Animal Crossing, but I didn't want to be the big sad at y'all, so I just didn't talk, and now I'm talking now, when I'm feeling at least a little bit better. I'm more caffeinated at the very least. Still not doing super, but I think I'm better, at least a little bit. I have been yapping for a really long time. I should probably actually start yapping about the video itself. So the terraforming might look a little familiar if you saw my spooky kidcore video last Halloween. I decided to just keep the terraforming I had up, but get rid of all the spooky decorations. I figured it made it a little bit easier, but I'm doing a little bit of editing to it. I didn't want it to be exactly the same because I thought that might be too boring. So I'm trying to work on that a little bit by adding in waterscaping here and there, and it's quite literally as minimal of waterscaping as I can get, apparently. It's just like a puddle. It's not even really a lake or a pond. It's just a puddle on a cliff with a tiny little waterfall, but it's something. I'm not sure if this flower path is really all that kidcore, but it's cute, so I liked that. I'm also still really bad at placing paths. I'm constantly going back and forth and changing things and doing whatever. Also, my Joy-Cons are annoying. I didn't really have too many thoughts. Well, I could just end the sentence there, but I didn't really have too many thoughts about what I wanted to do with this build, so that's why I'm constantly going back and forth, trying something, adding a new item, then going back down to the entrance and doing something different. I really wanted to have like a mix of regular trees and the wooden standee trees, because I feel like that kind of adds to the cutesy kidcore whimsy or whatever. I also love a good cliff tree. I don't use them a whole lot anymore, but I do enjoy them. I am so glad that they never patched up that glitch. I also really like using the tiny trees. It doesn't have to necessarily be the cedar tree or the hardwood tree or whatever. I do really like using those when I'm starting to build things, because the two smallest trees don't require you to eat fruit to dig them up, but they still tell you if you're too close to something, which is really handy for builds like this where I'm really indecisive. I feel like if I did this build with only regular sized trees, I'd be out of fruit, out of food immediately. I was hoping that Sprinkle would share what the gossip was, but she just called me out for not talking to her in a long time. Thanks. Oh, and once again the trend continues that whenever I decide to build something, all of my villagers decide to be out and about. Yeah, this is definitely just a no thoughts, just vibes kind of build, which I feel like is a lot of my builds. Aw, Pecan likes the little lake. I wasn't super big into gyroids when they first were introduced into the game, but I'm starting to like them a lot more. They're growing on me a lot, especially in an island like this where it's very cutesy and fun. I feel like they're a great addition to builds. Decided to add a little extra cliff on that side there. Can't remember if there was one already there. It'll probably change again later on. Once again, doing some more changes to the cliffs. I keep wanting to make the top level of cliff bigger, and because of that, I have to make everything else bigger too. So I keep adding more to the back and then constantly layering in all these different extra cliffs and stuff. I am not sure how I'm gonna connect this build with other things, or if I will connect them at all. I'm really not sure. It's been a bit since I've just played an Animal Crossing. I did a little bit a while ago, but I didn't want to get too far into the game because I didn't want to have a ton of changes that I haven't explained in video form yet. But there's still so much stuff I want to do, so I feel kind of stuck, which in a way kind of gave me more drive to actually finish these videos so that I can keep up the channel or whatever. So I guess in that way it's good. And now there's a sudden time jump. I don't remember what I was doing before that, but I guess I stopped playing for a bit. I have these planks and I like them, but they weren't quite fitting what I wanted, so I grabbed some brighter planks and I think they're pretty cute. They still don't have every variation that I want. I feel like they could have a couple extra curves to make them flow a little better, but it was better than what I had and it felt a little more pastel kidcore, I guess. I keep cramming a bunch of items into these really tight spaces and it gets really annoying to maneuver them. Oh, now we have Nan interrupting my shot. At least she seems to like the decorations a bit. And now Boots is in the way. We're at 4 villagers, I want to say, that have interrupted me in some capacity. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the latter half of this build is just a lot of tiny tweaks. Honestly, this entire build is just a series of tiny tweaks, especially right now. The major cliff is basically done. There's still stuff that I'm going to do differently, but the basic shape is there, the basic idea, basic vibes, whatever. I keep experimenting with different balloons that I want to add or changing the fence colors and stuff, but this is kind of like the basic structure. I kept going back and forth between which balloons I wanted to use. Like, I couldn't decide. I can't decide. I'm really bad at decisions, and sometimes I'll think it looks okay close up, but then when I move back I realize I have, you know, 2 pink items next to each other, or the green balloon will look really weird next to the trees or something. I don't know. I also popped so many balloons during this build. I like it when people incorporate dropped items into their builds, so I popped this balloon. I kind of liked where it was kept and I didn't want to mess with it, but it's also so torturous because I want to know what that item was. It was probably clay, but I don't care. I want to know. Maybe after I'm done with this island, I'll check it in the dream address or something. Can you open presents in dream addresses? I'm actually not sure now that I think about it. It also keeps getting darker and darker. I don't remember how long this video took to record. I recorded it, got back in March, probably. And then I've had it mostly edited for maybe a month or something. I totally thought it was going to be finished before the villager hunting video went live. And then it wasn't. Classic me. And then I did really crappy censorship to try to mosaic it out. That took a lot of effort. Honestly, probably would have been easier for me to just finish this video first and upload it first, then I didn't have to deal with that, but I didn't want to. Because at that point, honestly, the mosaicing was kind of funny, so I wanted to keep it. Then we add slightly more water. It's bigger than the previous pond that I made. I would argue this is actually a pond instead of a puddle like the other one. I feel like I did okay with terraforming on Morio, but then when I got to Dapadi, I just forgot all of it and did barely any terraforming on that island. It was very flat. And even though it ended up looking kind of cute, I do wish I did more terraforming on it, and I want to get better at terraforming, so I'm trying to do more terraforming here. I think having that extra height is nice, and I'll do a little bit of decorating there too. I really wanted to have some type of hopscotch custom design, so then I spent a really long time looking for hopscotch custom designs. I don't remember if I downloaded one or not, but I didn't end up using it, so then I just cut that part out and now it's darker, even darker than it was before. And I don't really like building when it's dark, and I realized that I don't have to build when it's dark. I was like, why am I suffering through this? I can time travel to earlier in the day and it's totally fine. And in a surprising turn of events, I completely clear out a bunch of items from a small area just to place a singular teeny tiny item in a similar spot and have to put everything all back. I really like cluttered islands, but they are an absolute hassle. I think the darkness and stuff wasn't really helping the build. I like it a lot more now that it's brighter outside. I realized that I ran out of balloons, so I stole some from my sky house area. I didn't really need the balloons over there. I honestly just kind of kept them there because I ran out of storage space in my house because I wanted to keep the house small. So they're kind of part of the build, kind of not. I don't like having that green balloon there. I kind of wish I had a blue or something, but I'm pretty sure I was out of that type of balloon and I didn't want to time travel or buy another one or anything. And now it's time to take this small cliff area and overload it with as many items as possible. Let's go. There's a video idea that I want to do at some point of different furniture series that I wish existed, or furniture series that do exist that I wish was more expanded upon. Like, I really wish that there were more items in the standee series. Like, the tree standee and the shrubs and the grass are nice, but if we had maybe the regular hardwood tree and a cedar tree. Like, I feel like if we had a variation of both of those trees, that would be fantastic. I guess I don't really know if I would use a palm tree standee, but that could be kind of cute too. I don't know, stuff like that, where I feel like there's potential to have this be a full series or kind of go further than what they did. I do kind of want to draw them though. But I'm very rusty with drawing and stuff. I don't really use my art degree too much in my day-to-day. Okay, we got a couple of tweaks, some final little situations where I move an item like half a square to the left. I'm calling it done for now. I'm probably gonna keep moving it later, but this is the final entrance build for Snoozle. I hope I'm kind of getting the cutesy pastel kidcore forest vibes. I don't know if I am or not. This is new, this is weird, this is scary. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying my best. Hope you like it. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Like and subscribe and all that. If you feel like it, that's cool too. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I'll see you later. Bye!